Hey everybody, it's Emma. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Today I wanted to talk about my top 5 favorite fall lip colors. Not only because I freaking love top 5 videos for whatever reason, so I figured I would jump on the bandwagon and start making some myself, but also fall for me tends to be very lip focused in terms of my makeup, or at least it has in the past several years. I tend to really favor rich, darker, deeper, earthy tones. So if that sounds good, then we'll talk about 5 of my faves. Awkward. Anyway, so let's first talk about what is on my lips. So this is kind of the nude color I tend to gravitate towards in the fall. In years past, I've kind of gravitated more towards brownie nudes, but I find that with my red hair, something with a little bit more red in it really suits my face a little bit better. So what I'm wearing right now is from Wet n Wild. It's one of their velvet matte lip colors, and it's in the shade Hickory Smoked. So it's this kind of, I would say, mid-sized pencil. It's not as small as, say, the e.l.f. matte lip colors, but it's not a jumbo, like, chubby stick sort of format either. It's kind of in between. And it's a really pretty color. It's a very comfortable formula. The one drawback I've found with these is they don't last very long. They wear away quite evenly. They don't look very awkward, at least with this kind of color, but they don't last. I do find that the top stays on really well. I can throw this in my purse without too much fear, and they're very easy to reapply. So I don't really mind that much, but do keep that in mind. But this sort of deeper, kind of ruddy brick brown sort of color is kind of my preference as opposed to a more nude lipstick. Obviously, if you have a different, deeper skin tone than I do, this might be more of a nude. But for me, it's my fall nude. Next up, we've gone a little bit brighter, just a touch. This is really the only, I love my bright colors, bright pinks, bright orange reds. But in the fall, I tend to go for more subdued colors, not necessarily light or neutral colors, but more subdued. However, if I'm gonna go for a bright lip, this is the kind of thing I'll be doing, especially since it matches my hair right now. But especially in this kind of transition period when we're moving from summer into fall, the leaves are just starting to go really pretty colors. I love throwing this on, especially if I'm really not wearing that much makeup. It's also nice for those kind of rainy, dreary, cool fall days, just to add a little pop of color. And the shade that I have on is from Milani. It's from their matte line, and this is called Matte Passion. I love these lipsticks, Milani lipsticks in general, and their matte lipsticks especially. I find that they don't feel dry on my lips. They're very pigmented, smooth, easy to apply, and they have a kind of cushiony feel in my experience. A lot of times with matte lipsticks, I find that as they dry, not only do they feel uncomfortable, but they kind of shrink wrap my lips and make all the lines more obvious. They make my lips seem smaller. I have a whole lot of lip to work with in the first place, so I don't really appreciate that. But these have a kind of cushiony feel, and I find that they don't do that. They don't necessarily plump my lips or anything like that, but they sit well on my lips rather than shrink wrapping them, if that makes sense. So I love these lipsticks in general, and this is my favorite kind of bright, cheerful fall color. Okay, next up we have these kind of really deep, rich, purpley, plummy colors. Now this one is unfortunately a lipstick that you can't get anymore. This is from Wet n Wild's Fergie collection, and it's in the shade Ferguson Crest Cabernet. However, they have a shade in their MegaLast range called Sugar Plum Fairy, which is pretty much the same color. I love this color. I love this color generally, but there's something about the fall season that brings this out of the depths of my collection. I just think it's a beautiful color. It's flattering. I find that it goes well, again, if I'm not wearing a ton of makeup, but it also can pair well with a heavier eye. Maybe not necessarily this particular eye, but in general, this is just, it's one of the shades that I just continue to go back to in the fall. I just want to show you another option that I have in my collection that you can still get. This is Black Cherry Tart in the NYX Intense Butter Gloss collection, and it has that same deep purpley tone. They look very similar on the lips. The gloss, because it's one of the intense butter glosses, it looks quite pigmented, but once you get it on your lips, it does sheer out because it is a gloss. And then the Ferguson Crest Cabernet, I tend to apply a coat or two to get the color intensity that I want. So they end up looking very similar. This also smells like Skittles, which is either a plus or a minus, depending. The one thing I would be mindful about with this is it can bleed. So I would either put it over a lipstick or a lip liner, or just be careful. This is a classic. Wet n Wild's Cherry Bomb. Now I tend to save the more true reds, the blue reds. To me, that's more kind of holiday winter. For fall, I love either those bright orangey reds or these really deep brick reds. Cherry Bomb is a fantastic lipstick. It's a cult classic. It's $1.99. You can't go wrong, unless you don't like this color, in which case, don't buy it. But there it is, swatched out so you can see it's a similar feel to the purples we just talked about, but red. And on that note, this is why I said ish, one of my favorite ways to wear this, because I do tend to like a little bit more of a gloss on my lip, even with these deeper colors, is this NYX Butter Gloss in Devil's Food Cake. It's a little bit sheerer, and obviously you could wear it much sheerer, so if you like this color but don't want to commit to Cherry Bomb, this is a nice way to try it. But what I really like to do is put this on top. This with a kind of flesh tone shimmery eye, little mascara, a little bit of a neutral blush. Good to go. Last but certainly not least is as close to black lipstick as I am ever gonna get. This is one of my all-time favorite lipsticks, although it's definitely more of a fall winter shade for me. This is from NYX. It's one of their Turnt Up lipsticks, and it's in the shade Dahlia. It's very dark, very vampy. It's almost black, but it has this great purpley berry undertone that to me makes it more wearable. You could of course sheer it out to make the purple come out a little bit more if this is a little much, or again the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Black Cherry Tart would also be a good option. This is one of those shades. I put maybe like a shimmery gold on the eye, just kind of blend it in so it almost goes right into my lid, little mascara, and that's really all you need with this kind of statement lip. This is a kind of newer formula for these lipsticks. I can't remember off the top of my head what they were called before, but I think they have been improved immensely. I don't find this to travel nearly as much as the old formula did. It stays on your lips. It wears really well. It's very comfortable. You can see it's got a little bit of shine. It's not a matte lipstick, but like I said, it doesn't travel outside the lip lines, and the cap stays on. So I can keep this in my purse and actually wear it, which is really exciting. So there you have it. Those are my 5-ish favorite fall lip colors. So I would love to know what your favorite fall lip colors are. Do you have kind of seasonal makeup, or do you tend to wear the same thing throughout the year? I'd be really curious to know, so please do let me know in the comment section. And if you have any questions, comments, if you have any requests for a top 5 sort of video, let me know. I will be happy to have the inspiration. And I really appreciate you watching this video, spending some time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.